So a tough loss tonight. What did you see out there?
First game. I think the first game with the team coming back, full recover. I think we have good things and we have a couple bad things on the defensive end. I think the major problem right now is the defense. We got clear with we had to rebound better as a team. Our communication was slow too, but I think we got good things. We saw good things on the offensive end, but we got to focus on the defensive end to get better.
You helped the team turn around the shooting in the second half, 63.6% from three in the second half. What did you guys get together and do at half that helped turn it around?
Yeah, we saw the collapse the paint, and we started getting some easy threes and share the ball. I think it was most the strategy, the collapse the paint, they put a lot of people in the paint, so we started picking apart, and we had good plays in the second half. But yeah, like I said, I think our problem, the major problem right now is the defense. We got to focus there, and we got to come back to work and focus there and get better and be ready for Idaho.
Yeah. How do you come together and prepare for Idaho on Wednesday?
Yeah. Just start tomorrow. Flip the page already. The first game. Flip the page. We don't want to lose, and no one's want to lose. But what happened happens, and we just got to look in the future now. We got to look in Idaho. We got to concentrate on them, and we got to put our main focus on practice on tomorrow.
Thanks, Juanse.
Thank you.
Coach, start with the opening statement.
Yeah, I thought Idaho State really established the aggressiveness, and that tenor or tone lasted for most of the first half in terms of their physicality at the rim, and also knocking down shots from distance. So they're a difficult matchup from that standpoint. They can stretch the floor and shoot threes, but they can also put the ball down low and play bully ball through the paint, and they're effective in that regard. And then they've been an elite offensive rebounding team for a period of time now, from season to season. Last year they averaged 14 offensive rebounds per game, which is probably top 5 in the country. And so, I thought they exposed some areas that we need to shore up. And so we'll get back to work in practice and got to work on being more physical, providing more resistance at the rim. But also our dribble containment's got to improve, just in terms of our communication on the perimeter, but also leveling off dribble penetration and not allowing teams to get downhill, because that either triggers high percentage shots or puts your team in rotation, and now you're more prone to foul. And once you're in rotation, you're more prone to give up three-point shots. And also, once you're in rotation, teams now have lanes for offensive rebounding. So there are a number of areas that we have to shore up and improve upon as we move forward and get ready for Idaho.
For your team to be down 17 with 6 minutes left and chip away at it and be within 3 by the final buzzer, what does that say about the mentality of your group?
Yeah, I loved the opportunistic, spirit of the group in fighting to the last possession and closing the gap. But too little, too late. And at this level, if you have long stretches of defensive breakdowns or lapses in concentration or periods where we're not communicating as effectively, and communication is going to be really important with 14 new players that are getting a sense and a feel for one another, and players from 4 continents and 6 countries. It's imperative that we accelerate the learning curve on our talking, because we can't read each other's minds. And so a number of our breakdowns came from not communicating at the point of a screen, and just letting each other know through communication, how we're going to cover or solve a problem from a defensive perspective. But I did like the fight of the group, and we were disjointed, without Tyler Johnson, who's our orchestrator and playmaker. On both sides of the ball, he really influences the game in a positive way with his pressure defensively. He can be very disruptive to opponents. And then offensively, he establishes a pace. Juanse played heavy minutes. We were searching for different rotations, trying to get a stop, but also need some players on the floor that can knock down some shots, because we were also struggling. If you look at the anemic shooting numbers in the first half, we were 1 of 8. We got it going from long distance from the three-point line, but that 1 of 8 in the first half led to an 18-point advantage for Idaho State from behind the arc. So again, we'll break down film, we'll get on the practice floor and begin working at remedy. We got to find some remedies for those deficiencies.
Yeah, the three-point shooting improved dramatically from the first half to the second. What were you telling the guys to keep their heads in it, especially with all the shooters you had on the floor?
Yeah, Idaho State established a tempo. It's a little more methodical, lower volume possession game, and that fits their personnel. And we're a team that needs to push the pace and run off of our defense. Getting stops and shutouts lead to the runouts and gets us in transition. If the ball's always going through the net from a free throw or a layup or a three-pointer, then you're playing uphill instead of going downhill where you can play at pace. So, there again is a lot of areas that we got to improve upon, and hopefully Ty, who's fighting a flu or some respiratory issue, will be back for our next game against Idaho.
You mentioned Idaho. How do you gather your group and prepare for that game Wednesday?
Yeah, I think, maturity. One thing about having an older team is you've got some players that have been through, the rigors of a college basketball season and the ups and downs that come with, being a Division I athlete. And so our younger players can learn from the older guys and lean in on their support and leadership. And adversity is an opportunity to learn, and so we've got some early season adversity, dropping one at home when you don't want to, lose games on your home court, but we'll learn from it and regroup. And I like the group. We're banged up some. Alejandro Avalos is out, who's 6'8". He could help us on the board against a team like this. Gavin Ripp, who's a second-year player for us, who also brings some ruggedness. So not having Alejandro Avalos and not having Gavin Ripp, but we can't make excuses. It's got to be next man up. We just got to find a way collectively. There's going to be times we have smaller units on the floor, and we got to collectively rebound, kind of gang tackle rebound. And Big Peter, I have confidence in him. It's on me to get him more minutes. We need him to develop. He's the tallest player on the team, and he can really be a factor at both ends of the floor, in the paint and at the rim. And he's got good touch, good feel for the game, and he picked up 2 assists tonight, didn't turn the ball over. So I think, he has a really bright future. But we fell behind, and we were fighting uphill the entire game, and so I was looking for combinations that could maybe, generate a more favorable pace for us and be able to put up some buckets and maybe allow us to extend our defense and pressure them some. But they really executed, so a tip of the hat to Idaho State. We got to give them credit as well.